Senator Win, um, any concerns about the items vetoed by President Marcos?
Yes, actually, I have. But before I answer that, let me just explain the items under the unprogrammed allocation. The unprogrammed appropriation cannot be taken as a whole because it has a lot of line items. In fact, in the National Expenditure Program, there are 11 line items. The most controversial there will be the SAGIP lump sum funds. Because in the past, the SAGIP lump sum funds have been used to fund flood control projects. I'll give you a very specific example. In 2024, the SAGIP lump sum fund funded 80 billion worth of flood control projects. That lump sum fund, we took it out. That's why if you see the Senate version of the GAB, it doesn't have the SAGIP lump sum funds anymore. So I have to say that because that's the most controversial.
Okay.
The other vetoed items, 9 vetoed items, 7 of which are in the National Expenditure Program. Ibig sabihin, it was originally part of the executive's budget. And the 2 were added during the budget process. So all of those were actually coordinated and included in the original proposal of the executive.
So what, in that case, why did the president veto it? It seems incongruous.
Well, the 3, just to answer you, Cess, no, the out of the 9 that were vetoed, I'm concerned with the 3, no, and this is the RACE program, the CARS program, and the GOP counterpart for foreign assisted project. The RACE and the CARS program, these are arrears that we have to pay to Toyota and to Mitsubishi because in the past we enticed them to come to the Philippines to set up shop in exchange for tax breaks, and we haven't paid those tax breaks. That's why we included in the unprogrammed allocations 4.2 billion to pay all of those arrears. The other concern is the GOP counterpart to foreign assisted projects because the way foreign assisted projects work, you have the loan and you have the GOP counterpart. So we need to put up those GOP counterparts in order to fulfill our part of the project.
Senator, going back to your concerns on the items that President Marcos vetoed, including the CARS program, is there still any legal pathway for our government to honor these obligations despite the veto, given that the biggest implication of that is our credibility as a country in honoring these commitments?
That's a very good question. In fact, the BOI texted me yesterday when they found out that it was vetoed. Because if you listen to the budget hearings of the DTI, and you will hear it there from no less than the Secretary and the BOI pleading that let's pay the investors, let's pay Toyota and Mitsubishi because nakakaya, una. Pangalawa, it's our reputation on the line. How can we attract investors to set up shop, to set up a factory here if we cannot honor our commitments? So it was them who pleaded. That's why we included it, at least in the unprogrammed, because it's a non-cash allocation. So to answer your question straight, there are other ways. No? One, the president can use other funds to pay those arrears. For example, the contingency fund. The other one is to come up with a creative accounting mechanism so that the BIR will record its payment and it will free up Toyota and Mitsubishi from paying these arrears.
Okay. Well,
And that's not skirting
It's creativity.
accounting creativity.